Good morning, and welcome to Namaste Today, a practical way to start each day. I'm your host, Christopher Witecki, psychic astrologer and spiritual life coach. And this audio blogcast is for Thursday, December 29th, 2016. Welcome to your Thursday and Namaste. Well, my friend, happy Lightcast Day. Today is the new moon, and I believe the new moon is the most powerful day of a given lunar cycle to set a new impression or start a new project. This is the best day to lightcast reality, which is why I call it Lightcast Day. And in today's zodiac weather, we're going to talk about the planets and where they're lining up to help you manifest. And since we're manifesting a new policy or a new course or direction in the sun in Capricorn, I thought in today's tea time, I'd give you the tips to loving yourself. But first, let's take a listen to today's mood and your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Thursday, December 29th, 2016. For today's global moodcast, I predict sunny but super serious. It looks like the Earth is getting serious on this new moon and casting intentions. But here's the thing. Mercury is retrograde, and we're seeing things differently. So it's almost like the universe is asking us to sign a contract before we're ready. Let's take a deeper look at the planets. Well, first let me say happy new moon to you, or happy Lightcast Day. Today I believe you're going to feel sunny and somewhat serious. Your emotions will be a little solemn. That's because you are having to make up your mind about some deep decisions. These decisions might be kind of subtle, but they are setting a policy. And this year, you are likely going to change direction in life. And this is the beginning, the first stage, the first decision, the first commitment. This is the first one towards that total life change. Now, as soon as you make this decision today, your feelings are going to race off and start processing the future. Don't worry, that's just the moon heading for Pluto. You will slowly feel that an old life is dying and a new life is being born, and it will feel cosmic, and it will also probably feel very faded, like it's a part of what's meant to be. Now, although you're feeling all this kind of heavy fate taking over, you may think, or your mind may think, not know what to think. Okay, like Mercury is retrograde. And what that means is as you're trying to move your life forward, your mind is thinking backwards and rethinking and underthinking your old thinking. And if nothing else, not paying attention to the ball. So today, your mind is seeking peace. I recommend staying on a peaceful topic and not thinking too much about what can't happen, but rather about what you intend to happen. It is, after all, the new moon. And what you feel and what you be is what will come. Now, the planets do reveal that there's a tension going on right now, and this is part of your decision making. It's time to make a balance between what's fair and also being strong. On the one side, you probably think these things are fair. On the other side, you might think, I don't know if I'm strong enough to go after that. So there's this tug of war that's trying to balance the perfect balance between opening up to what's really fair, what you really deserve, and also not overthrowing it to where you can't pull it off or follow through. So in the end today, decide what's fair, but don't bite off more than you can chew. Now, fate is taking over, frankly, as far as I'm concerned. The planet Mars is conjuncting Neptune. Neptune's at step 9, which means spirit in action. And Mars, the planet of action, is conjuncting Neptune, saying spirit in action. You can't get any more literal than our spirit and our spiritual path is now moving forward and in action. So I guess the nice little caveat to this is, if you feel like a stranger in a strange land and you're not in Kansas anymore, believe it or not, the planets say you're right on spiritual course. So no matter how awkward or off it might feel, I do believe that spirit is taking over, and what that means is the plan your spirit meant to do on Earth is moving forward, whether you've got the big picture of it or not. In fact, there's one more clue to that today, and that's Venus. Venus is at step 24 Aquarius. 24 is the perfect 6. Venus in Aquarius in the perfect 6 would be the perfect vision of utopia and everything. So in this decision that we make today for what's fair, we're opening up to our highest vision of utopia, really. We're at least creating the space for that. Another indication that spirit's taking over here, it's really not ego or mentally driven. That's probably why God Universe has Mercury retrograde right now, to get us kind of mentally drunk, if you will, while we're pulled down our actual spiritual path. The last interesting point I want to make is Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn has moved to step 21, where it starts to get fun, if you know my little sayings. And 21 adds to a 3, which is the Grand Master step of Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the 3s, if you know my step astrology. And so for Saturn to be at step 21 means that in this moment, with this decision, we are aligning our higher master path now and aligning it to where our beliefs are going to go. Now, Saturn will actually go through step 22 in Capricorn or in January, and when it does, we're going to see whether or not this little decision pays off or not. Until then, it is opening a new door, and in very practical senses, that's probably what it feels like. You probably feel like you are embarking on a journey where you have no idea of where it's going to turn out or how it's going to turn out. All you know is who you are, and you're supposed to go that way. Now, one of the primary energies of Capricorn, especially here at step 8, is operations. How we operate. How we operate on the inside turns into how we operate on the outside. And so today, for your tea time, I thought I would share my points on how to love yourself. So go steep yourself some tea, and let's have our daily tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is to love myself. And this is a topic that's hot on my brain because I talk to it almost every day when I do readings. So many of my clients or my viewers seem to be growing when it comes to how much they love themselves. I've definitely law of attracted a whole group of people who are working on the same issue that I have been working on with myself, that I have to love myself and I have to protect that love as well, both. Those are both my lessons. So it's not surprising that I have law of attracted a whole group of people learning to love themselves, and over the years I've gotten better at understanding this topic. First of all, to love yourself is way beyond the idea of answering the question, do you love yourself or not? Because if you ask someone, do you love yourself? Most people are like, yeah, of course I love myself. The follow-up question for that is, well, what have you done for yourself lately? And the truth of the matter is, love is an action, not an idea. It's something we do. I believe loving ourselves is, in simple terms, giving us love to ourselves every day, which means we deliberately put ourselves into a situation or an experience or in front of a person or an object that we absolutely love. If you love yourself truly, then you give yourself the things you love and you let yourself have the experiences that you would love to have. So, in the course of a day, how many times do you think about something your heart would love? How many times do you give yourself something your heart would love? And you may think this requires money, but it doesn't. You know, I talked about a few days ago that serious joy requires you to find the joy in every scene. That also means that you can bring the joy, or you can design the joy and make sure that there's something in every scene that you will enjoy. I always joke, if you're stuck at the DMV, you should have a fabulous novel to read, something that you'll enjoy if you have to be in that prison of a long line. So loving ourselves is making sure on a daily basis we get a meal of love, that we get to have at least a moment that we have loved. And the simplest form, that's laughing at a great joke and just loving a given moment. But if you really love yourself, you'll give yourself a lot more than that. Now, there's another dimension of loving yourself, and that has to do with the way you treat yourself. By treating yourself, I'm referring to what I call the mirage. The mirage is the relationship to yourself. And 99% of the time, the way we treat ourselves is by reaction. So the way we react to ourselves. So when you make a mistake, for instance, on the typewriter or somewhere in life, how do you react to that mistake? Do you put yourself down and call yourself stupid? Or do you react to that mistake in a loving way? So to me, the next dimension of loving ourselves has to do with the way we respond to ourselves. Do we respond in loving ways? Or do we respond mean? Are our responses from a place of love? Or are the responses from our ego or our mind? If your response to yourself is always from a place of love, you are loving yourself on a high level. Loving yourself on the high level, by the way, is the best way to draw in true love. Many clients seek love, and I always give the same prescription. Love yourself like crazy, and you will draw in people who love you, love you, love you like crazy. And then there's one more level of love, and that is loving yourself in your decision-making processes. So making sure that every decision you make comes from a place of love, not a response. This is you directing your life. So this is you looking at your life to see if your decisions, and of course your actions, because we usually decide to act, are coming from a place of love. And is it in the most loving interest for you, not those involved, for you? And often the most loving position for ourselves is not what our mind or our ego particularly wants. Our mind or ego might want revenge, or might want this, or might want that. But the most loving thing is to say, no, Christopher, let's just take you out of this whole environment and put you where you're safe. That's the most loving thing to do. So when we allow love to command our future, and we choose from love and make our future decisions from love, that to me is the highest form of loving yourself. And when I say highest, I mean that's what the masters are working on, doing every day and focusing on every day. So I bring this up because today is Lightcast Day. We are making decisions about the way we're going to operate, which is Capricorn. We're also making decisions about policy. And I wanted to just put out there on the table for negotiation the idea that your policy involves these ways of loving yourself. That you're going to give yourself love every day. You're going to make sure you have 3 meals of love a day. That you're going to respond to yourself in a loving way, always. And that you're going to consult your heart and what you love and the most loving thing for you whenever you make a decision, particularly a big decision in your life. Let your heart have a voice at that table. It's pretty clear that if humanity had written into its laws the idea of us checking our heart and asking if the laws are coming from a loving space, if that was a law, everything would change overnight. Well, my friend, I hope you have a wonderful and loving day. I hope it's not too serious. Hope you give yourself a little meal of love today. I will be back tomorrow with some more goodies. Until then, remember, I love you, and live, love, be.
Live, love, be.